All right, let's dive into the story of a lost empire. We're talking about a city that was once on par with the greatest capitals on Earth. And then, poof, it just vanished from history for centuries. I want you to imagine a place, a city just overflowing with almost unbelievable wealth. A city that was the beating heart of this massive, seemingly unstoppable empire. And a capital so breathtakingly beautiful that it left even the most jaded world travelers completely speechless. And look, this isn't some fairy tale. That quote? It's a real account. Travelers who actually went there, who saw Hampi with their own eyes, said it was better than the greatest cities they knew. This was a real place. So for 200 years, this city was a shining beacon of power and prosperity. And then, it was all over. Its fate sealed in one single devastating battle. The fall was just as fast as its rise was spectacular. So you have to ask, how on earth did that happen? Okay, so to get to the bottom of its fall, we've got to go back to its beginning. See, Hampi wasn't just built, it was literally forged in the fires of chaos. You know, back in the 1300s, South India was facing constant invasions. It was a really chaotic time. So these two brothers, Harihara and Buka, decided to do something about it. They built a new empire right on the Tungabhadra River to act as a shield. And they named its capital Vijayanagara, which literally means City of Victory. And at the very heart of it all was Hampi. And you know what victory brings? Wealth. And not just a little wealth. We're talking unimaginable riches. That City of Victory quickly blossomed into a global powerhouse of gold. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. By the 1500s, Hampi was the second largest city in the world. The only city bigger was Beijing. This wasn't some quiet, remote kingdom. No way. This was a massive global metropolis, a buzzing center for trade and culture. So what did it look like? Just try to picture the sheer scale of it all. You had these massive palaces, elite warrior guilds, and markets that were literally overflowing with diamonds. They had huge stables just for elephants, plus all these incredible temples and bazaars, including the legendary Virupaksha temple. It was a city designed for everyone, from kings and warriors to merchants, and even for the gods themselves. I mean, just think about that for a second. Diamonds were sold in the open streets like vegetables. Can you even wrap your head around that? That one line from a merchant tells you more about the city's wealth than any number ever could. Diamonds, treated like they were carrots or potatoes, it's just mind-blowing. You know, every great empire has that one ruler, that golden age. For Vijayanagara, it was a king named Krishnadevaraya. This guy was the whole package, a brilliant military commander and a huge supporter of the arts. He took what was already a really strong kingdom and turned it into an absolute superpower. Under his rule, the empire stretched all the way from the Arabian Sea to the Bay of Bengal. But as we all know, the higher you climb, the harder you can fall. And for Hampi, the golden age wasn't just going to fade away. It came to a sudden, violent, and absolutely tragic end. The beginning of the end was a single day in 1565. A bunch of neighboring sultanates who'd been rivals with Vijayanagara for a long time decided to team up. They combined their armies for one massive attack. The battle that followed, the Battle of Talikota, was where everything would be decided. So you've got to wonder, how could a superpower like this just get wiped out? Well, the answer is something we see time and time again in history: betrayal. Right in the middle of the battle, at the most critical moment, two of Vijayanagara's own generals switched sides. The effect was instant and catastrophic. The army just collapsed. And suddenly, Hampi, the capital, was wide open, completely undefended. The victorious armies just marched right in. And what happened next wasn't just a simple conquest. It was 6 straight months of systematic destruction, annihilation. The contrast is just jarring. Before 1565, you have this incredible city of gold, a center for knowledge, wealth, and power. After, just a city of ruins. Palaces were torn down, temples were broken, and the libraries? All those vast libraries holding centuries of knowledge, they were all burned, gone forever. That's a cultural loss you just can't get back. A city that once shined like gold was turned into ruins, practically overnight. In the grand scheme of things, it was instantaneous. 200 years of culture, of civilization, just erased. The golden city was gone. But was it really gone forever? I mean, for a few centuries it sure seemed like it, but the story doesn't end there. Let's talk about what remains of this forgotten empire. So for almost 300 years,
The ruins of Hampi were just silent. Nature took over and the world just forgot it was ever there. It wasn't until the 1800s that British archaeologists literally stumbled upon these massive overgrown ruins and started to realize what they'd found. They began piecing together the story of an empire that had been completely lost to time.
And what they uncovered was just incredible. Even after all that destruction and hundreds of years of neglect, more than 1,600 structures were still standing. We're talking enormous temples, those famous stone chariots, the ruins of the old bazaars, even the giant elephant stables were mostly intact. You can see battle scars on the walls. It's like every single stone has a story to tell. And today, the importance of this place is recognized all over the world. Hampi is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which means we're all working to make sure this incredible city is never forgotten again.
And really, that's what Hampi is now, a silent reminder of India's forgotten golden empire. When you walk through the ruins, you can feel it. It's not just a bunch of old rocks. It's a powerful echo of an empire that was once one of the brightest lights in the world.
So, the city fell with fire. But did its story really end? The invaders did everything they could to wipe Hampi off the map. But here's the thing, can you ever truly destroy a story this big?
The answer, of course, is no. Hampi survives. The palaces were burnt, yeah, and the gold was stolen. But the stories are carved right into the stone. They're still there, waiting for anyone who's willing to listen.